Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the TV6 Digital Desk live stream. My name is Molly Birch, and I'll be taking you through a recap of today's headlines. This stream runs every night starting at 8/7 Central Time from Sunday to Thursday. You can find us streaming on both Facebook and YouTube, whichever platform you'd prefer. Feel free to comment and ask questions in the chat as you feel like it. I'll do my best to keep an eye on those and answer your questions as we go and after the stream as well. With all of that business out of the way, let's take a look at our first story for tonight. Our reporters were live from across the First Lady's route today with team coverage, starting with what was a standing room only crowd with a female majority packed into the Ordock to hear the First Lady and Second Gentleman speak about the upcoming election. First Lady Jill Biden and Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff arrived to thunderous applause. The duo heavily emphasized issues facing Michigan women on this year's ballot. Reproductive rights, as well as health care and wage gap concerns, were heavily discussed. The First Lady says this election could determine the future of reproductive rights in America.
We are the first generation in half a century, as Doug said, to give our daughters a country with fewer rights than we had. Book bans, voting laws gutted, court decisions that strip away our most basic freedoms.
Donald Trump narrowly defeated Hillary Clinton in Michigan in 2016, and Joe Biden flipped Michigan blue in 2020. First Lady Jill Biden says the road to the White House is paved through Michigan. And moving on to the eastern...
And the First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jill Biden.
Jill Biden addressed the Bay Mills Indian community and the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians. She noted how Native American culture is getting stronger and how the president hired Native Americans on his team. She also talked about Native American teachings, encouraging communities to lean on each other.
You look for ways to serve your neighbors, to meet the moment, no matter how big or small. You show up for each other and for your communities. And the president and I want to show up for you.
TV6's Tristan Kendrick was part of our crew there today, and he'll break down both Biden and Emhoff's speeches tonight on your TV6 Night Report at 10/9 Central and TV6 Late News at 11:10 Central. And Joe Biden's visit was also met with some criticism. Upper Peninsula Republicans and Palestinian protesters protested the First Lady's visit today. Protesters against the United States' involvement in the Israel-Hamas war were outside the Order Brewery with signs and drums. While the protesters did not want to be interviewed, they did say they want to see the president pull back his support of Israel. The 1st Congressional District Republican chair was also critical of the visit. She says the Women for Biden-Harris campaign is a desperate effort to gather voters.
I don't really see what Biden has to offer women. Our inflation rates are the highest they've ever been. Our local paper is carrying articles about people who cannot afford to buy homes of their own.
Marquette County Republican Chair Keith LaCrosse also says he would like to see Republican candidates make similar visits. And we have a traffic alert for the Mackinac Bridge. MDOT says a major repaving project won't be done in time. That means big delays are possible for Memorial Day weekend travelers. The work was supposed to be done by May 23rd, but now MDOT says it won't be complete until June 7th. The contractor says it has more patching work to do than expected, and it hasn't been able to field full crews. MDOT asks weekend travelers to cross at off-peak times. Weekend traffic peaks between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, often resulting in traffic backups, even with all toll lanes open. And a new addition to Marquette's Presque Isle Park will be built this upcoming year. The design process for the new band shell is underway. Groups like the Marquette City Band offered suggestions on what could be added. Early designing could include ADA compliance, new lighting, and sound equipment. The Marquette Community Services Director believes construction will start in the fall.
Everybody in the community really loves it, but it was built in the 1930s, and so it has lived an extraordinary life and served the community very well.
The Ray and Peg Hervinen Foundation donated $1 million toward the project. Presque Isle will also be part of a 5-year Parks and Rec master plan. Suggestions for projects can be heard at board and committee meetings during the summer. Swenson hopes for the plan to begin in October. Negaunee Middle schoolers said goodbye today to the fish they've been raising since November. TV6's Audrey Stetson tells us how kids releasing Chinook salmon into the Dead River inspired an interest in the outdoors.
Yeah, Charles! Negaunee 5th grader Rain Rozich released her fish Charles into the Dead River this morning. Rain says her class watched the Chinook salmon grow from small eggs into the fish they are now.
One day maybe this fish will be like a father or a mother. I don't know if Charles is a girl or a boy, but the life cycle of the fish continue, and it's just fun to see the thing you kind of sort of raised just go off on its own.
This is one of 14 UP classrooms participating in the Michigan DNR's Salmon in the Classroom program. Teacher Phil Halamka says the kids helped feed the fish and clean the fish tank all winter with help from Trout Unlimited.
Teaches the kids a little bit about getting outdoors, some of the conservation, and then the life cycle of salmon and the food web, and all that ties back into what we're doing in the classroom.
After the release, students went to Presque Isle for a science workshop with 5 conservation and ecology stations. Students learned about rock formations in Upper Michigan and protecting wildlife. Rain says the Chinook salmon will come back to the spot they were released in a few years to lay their eggs.
I think it's interesting that you can associate a place where you release them and make them think that oh hey, I was here before and now I'm going to come here again. It's all interesting stuff.
My main goal was to get kids excited about being outside, get educated about all the opportunities we have here in the Upper Peninsula.
Halamka says that's especially important as we head into summer. Audrey Stetson, TV6 News, Marquette.
Thank you, Audrey. Finally tonight on the TV6 Digital Desk live stream, our sports team, Kevin McNulty and Keegan Cooper, were at Ishpeming High School this morning for the debut of UP Power, Hematites Bring Home the Hardware. That's our half-hour special chronicling Hematite history, when on March 23rd, the Hematite girls basketball team won their first ever state championship. Before the screening, head coach Ryan Reichel said he hopes seeing this special can inspire young student athletes.
Watch it, as a community member, as a UP person, watching this journey can help inspire some younger players and also see all the things that it takes to become a state champion.
And don't forget, you can watch it just like Coach said. UP Power Hematites Bring Home the Hardware debuted tonight on Fox UP at 7:30 Eastern. But don't worry if you missed that showing. The program will re-air on TV6 this Saturday at 7:30 at night Eastern, and again on Fox UP on Sunday at 9 in the morning. It will also later be available to watch on TV6 Plus. And that's all the stories we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in right back here on Facebook at 8:45 tomorrow morning. TV6's Mandy Koskela and Michael Sobek will recap top stories from the morning on their show, Beyond Your Morning News. If you have a story idea you think we should report on, feel free to contact us at any time. These are a few easy ways to get a hold of both myself and others in the newsroom. And again, you can contact us at any time. We would love to hear from you and what's happening in your community. Thank you all again for joining me live at the TV6 Digital Desk. Have a great rest of your night and a great weekend.